Very, very, very good evening, Zimbabwe Omushe. You are tuned into Live Talk, The Connection, coming to you live from the Voice of America on Tuesday, the 4th of September. Bafethu Ikamalami Mike Hove. My name's Mike Hove.
And I'm Evans Zeninga.
Once again, Zimbabwe Omushe. Welcome to the Youth Connection Live Talk. And I'm your host, Mike Hove. Lamhlanje bafethu, tonight on The Connection, we're opening the mics to you guys. Nina, abantu abasema kai, abantu abase Zimbabwe. All Zimbabweans all over the world, we're opening the mics to you. In particular, abantu abasakhulayo, the youth of Zimbabwe, we're opening the mics to you. Or we would like to hear the one most important thing. You know, we now have President Omucha, Umongameli, Emerson Mnangagwa. We have a new president, Mtungamiri wenyika va Emerson Mnangagwa. So we want to hear from you guys. One, what is the biggest demand you have of Umongameli Omucha? What do you expect from President Emerson Mnangagwa with regards to uplifting impilo zabantu abasakhulayo, the lives of vanhu vechidiki? So bafethu ngenani kuhlelo, the program is all yours. We're also going to be tackling and talking about amanyama fellowships ngenhlelo ezitshiyeneyo that are within Zimbabwe that are all targeted towards uplifting abantu abasakhulayo.
And to join in the discussion today, please feel free to write your numbers in the comment section or call us directly on +1 202 619 2077, and we will call you back.
And of course, Bafethu, the program is also going out to Zimbabwe on our 909 medium wave frequency. Njalo ku 49306080 and 15460 kilohertz on Monday through Friday, Bafethu, 8 to 9 p.m. Sikhona lapha ebulenjini.
We also broadcasting live on our 3 Facebook pages, the VOA Studio 7, VOA Ndebele, and the VOA Shona. Not to forget our 3 web pages, www.voazimbabwe.com, www.voashona.com, and the www.ndebele.com. Tune in.
Yes, Bafethu. So thanks once again for joining us. Sikuhlelo The Connection. We are live coming to you from Voice of America, Studio 7. Lamhlanje, we're talking about the one and only President Emerson Mnangagwa. It's all about us, Tina njengabantu abasakhulayo. We want to hear ukuthi, you as the youth of Zimbabwe, Nina, who are watching us live, what do you think of President Emerson Mnangagwa? 1, 2, what exactly are you expecting ukuthi umongameli will do for you to uplift impilo yakho? Nxa usithi umongameli angimthandi, I don't think he'll do anything. Manje umbuzo wami engizaphinda ngikubuze ngithi, what exactly are you going to do to change your situation? Ngenxa ukuthi umongameli usekhona 5 years, mchokojo ukhona umongameli. So what exactly are you going to do to change isimo sempilo sakho? Bafethu ngenani kuhlelo, thumezeleni umlayezelo, or even write inombolo yakho ku comment section. Sikhona lamhlanje sisonke siyaxoxa ngobunengi bethu. Vanso
Mike
warengi
awe zvakamira sei
ama-1 ma-levels mdara
hanzi pfe varungoti pfe vafana vechidiki musha uko hatisi kuziva kuti zviri kuenda nekupi. Asi wataura nyaya yakanaka kuti nhasi izuva ravo.
Of course.
Uri kuvavhurira mukana wekuti vataure zvavanofunga pamusoro pekuti Zimbabwe yoita sei kuenda kumberi, tarisiro dzavo kuti nyika yokunguruka sei, chimuti ichi chiri kutambidzanwa sei chichienda kumberi. Vamwe vanoti chakabvutwa, vamwe vanoti chakatambidzanwa. Toda kuti tinzwe kwavari, handiti ndo nyaya iri pano nhasi. Uyewo wavabvunza kuti imimi vechidiki muri kuitei, kwete kungoti muri kuitirwei, asiwo imimi zvamuri kuita ndezvipi? Ndo nyaya iri pano nhasi, Mike. So we wait to hear.
Ngempela. So bafethu, we have another youth person okhona lathi lamhlanje ku studio. Ngumuntu ongisakhulayo, who's from Zimbabwe. He's doing his PhD lapha eMelika. Bafethu yena, like, he will tell you his thoughts on umongameli wethu omutsha, umongameli Emerson Mnangagwa. So bafethu masambeni kuye siyazi ukuthi ngibani igama lakhe, njalo uzasitshela okunengi. Kelvin Mandula, siyakwamukela kuhlelo, my brother.
Hi, Mike.
Welcome. Lapha we give each other my big ups. Lapha.
Thank you. Life is good, man. Yeah.
Welcome. This is your first time here.
It's my first time here on studio, but I've been on your other programs by telephone. Yeah.
Not your last, I hope.
Definitely not my
Right.
first time.
So Vanzo, I'm not sure if uyamazi lo Kelvin Manduna.
Right.
The only thing I know about Mr. Manduna is he's a PhD student at Howard University,
Fair.
a very prestigious university
Fair.
in the USA. And he is also supposedly,
Fair.
according to Mike,
Fair.
a very strong
Fair.
sympathizer or supporter of President Mnangagwa.
Fair. That's all I can say. Fair. No. But jokes aside, Bafethu Kelvin, thank you so much for joining us. Good hlelo. So of course, uyizwile indaba ekhona Kelvin. I know ukuthi wena uyamsekela umongameli Emerson Mnangagwa. So I guess my first point to you is why Emerson Mnangagwa? Why umsekela? Ubona ngani what will he do for abantu abasakhulayo eZimbabwe?
I think the reason why I felt inclined to support Mnangagwa among the candidates who presented themselves,
The 23.
yes, was out of pragmatism. I understood that we were not going to have a hard shift from the previous environment. It was going to be a transitional change. And I felt the person who was best able to usher us through that transition was Mnangagwa. Because I knew the events of November ushered in a certain structure. And out of pragmatism, I think what we have is what we have to live with for the next 5 years. That being said, there are clear demands that we will be making of Mnangagwa as Ama youths. So I think that's what hope we will ventilate today.
So manje wena as a young person who's living lapha kwele Melika,
Right.
what would your biggest expectations be of uhulumende lo omutsha oza?
I think the primary issue for Ama youth is employment. That is front and center. We have a serious challenge.
I understand uthi employment.
Right.
Now I remember, and I know some people said it as a joke.
Right.
Umongameli Mugabe wathi I'm going to bring in a large amount of employment, angithi. Eneng would argue with it akalethanga lutho. However, abantu bathi nxa uyivenda, that's a form of employment. So nxa usithi uzaletha employment,
Right.
ngicela ukuthi uchazise kahle ukuthi what kind of employment are we talking about here?
Well, there are two types. I mean, I know I've heard that the informal sector is a real sector. It's a reality in most of Africa, Zimbabwe included. I don't know the latest figure for the size of it, but we have to appreciate that's where most of in this country they call it a gig economy.
Yeah.
But that's what it is if you're driving Uber and all these things. Sometimes you are in the informal sector. Me as a consultant, here, I'm in the informal sector here. So we mustn't, I know we look at the vending side on the street, that side of it, and then people look down on it. But it can have viable, lucrative side to it. So it's to empower our youth who are going into that sector, make sure the conditions are safe, eliminate issues like smuggling and so on, the vices within the sector, to try and create environment. But for us as people who analyze, we are more speaking of the formal sector and revival of the industrial and services sector to create jobs in that sector, the tax-paying, income tax-paying side of the economy. Those are the jobs that we are also particularly emphasizing. Because those are the people, I understand, who form the nucleus of a middle class, who borrow money from banks to buy houses, to buy cars, to drive the rest of the economy. So by and large, that is the sector we try to also emphasize formal jobs.
Interesting. No, ngiyamuzwa. Ndiri kuvanzwa vakuru ava vanda kumbokanduka pasi pebhaza.
Andi. Mati.
Go easy.
Go easy. I find it very amusing. You see, people have been talking in corridors and openly and in public and all over the place.
Right.
You see, Emerson Mnangagwa factually has been President Mugabe's right-hand man from day one.
Right.
Even before Zimbabwe's independence.
Right.
And what new bloodline is he going to bring in today to this new Zimbabwe that he has failed to bring for the past 38 years?
Right. I think he himself, he has acknowledged that mistakes were made. Maybe doesn't go as far as some of his detractors would want. That's subject for debate. But he has acknowledged we've made a lot of mistakes. But no two people will run things the same. Even if you are married, you and your wife, you are together for 20 years, joined at the hip, but you do things differently. Mugabe was an autocrat, meaning he's the alpha and omega of decision making. There was not much wiggle room, and that's, I think, something that we have to appreciate when we look at how Mugabe's tenure was. He ran a patronage system. Even if you were a technocrat, as the Nkosana Moyes have explained, there was no room to do what you came and competent for. He's the final arbiter and the decision maker. So I think Mnangagwa and them, to some extent, they've been freed from that. But we must hold them to a strong leash. And I fully acknowledge that. They were part of that system. They are tainted by that system. And they must show that they are reformers from that system. And so many people have said, and I rightly acknowledge, there is a lot of hardline elements who are still in that old mindset, who he has to prune or at least to minimize their influence. Otherwise, the new project won't be as successful as he wishes.
So, ngiyazukthi we have our second guest lamhlanje osingena ozangena kuhlelo. So let's hold you for 1 second and let's bring in the second guest into the conversation. Sikhuluma njengabantu abasakhulayo. We're speaking ngobuningi bethu namhlanje, Evans. Right. So ngiyazukthi ecingweni we now have uLiberty Bhebhe who's joining us on the line. Liberty, unjani mputi? Ngiyaphila mfoka baba. Thank you so much for joining us lamhlanje kuhlelo.
Thank you.
So lamhlanje udaba olusegudweni we're speaking about umongameli wethu omutsha, umongameli Emmerson Mnangagwa. I know ukuthi I've spoken to different people and enengi seem to highlight the fact ukuthi ilizwe lethu it's literally broken up in half when we're talking about abantu abasakhulayo. Enengi labantu bakhanya ngani basamsekela uChamisa and abafuni ukusebenza ndawonye lo Mnangagwa. But reality and realistically speaking, silomongameli omutsha, umongameli Emmerson Mnangagwa is here for 5 years. So umbuzo wamqala ke body to you would be, how do we move forward njengabantu abasakhulayo? How do we band together and unite and move forward sisidonse njengabantu abasakhulayo?
Yeah, I think that Zimbabwe, I think, is a broken nation. Elama challenges abaningi kakhulu, and some of these challenges do affect young people. Or let me say, most of the challenges are actually affecting young people. We have what I would term a lost generation. Young people who have never been employed. Young people who do not know what it means to earn an honest and decent living. Young people can't afford the basic things. You're talking of young girls, young women who can't afford, sanitary wear. So it has caused a lot of problems. Young people that are into drug and substance abuse. So for me, moving forward is having a proper diagnosis of a problem. What is exactly is the Zimbabwe crisis? I know it is multidimensional, it does have an economic dimension to it, but what exactly is the Zimbabwe crisis? Which makes people easily get on each other's throats on a simple matter of choosing who can be the mayor of Bulawayo. So for me, I think that's a major challenge. The second thing, I think we need this new administration to begin with confidence that they have changed from what they were in the past. Remember, this is not necessarily an entirely new faces in government. These are people who were there, whether playing secondary or primary roles, but were there. They were part of the system. They benefited from the system. We need them to begin to build confidence. We need to deal with issues of corruption in this country. It's a big issue. It's taking away livelihoods from families. It's taking away jobs from young people. It's taking away business opportunities from young people. Young people that want to just start a small business have to pay up a lot of money to just get your small business running.
Right. Bebe, silokhu sikudaba about speaking about our businesses, and it's a good thing you brought that up. We know ukuthi recently umongameli and the Zanu-PF, I guess, government, if you want to refer to it as that, said they were looking towards launching a youth empowerment bank. Lapo they would distribute or set aside $12 million. Yona ezabe elenjongo eyokuthuthukisa abontanga who are looking to open up businesses and all that. I guess my first question would be, First of all, is $12 million enough?
It's not enough. It's not enough. But see, I think we are approaching it from a wrong angle.
Mm-hmm.
What do we want to do with 12 million? You see, previous youth development funds, your Kurera Ugonda, your Stanbic Fund, you have not achieved their goal because we don't know what we want to do with youth development funds.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even have a national youth development strategy as a country. We don't know what sectors are we looking at? What are we promoting? Are we promoting STEM? Are we promoting arts? Is it a multi-dimensional fund?
Mm-hmm.
How do we? Because I think that's where we need to start. That's why they give young people money and the money disappears into, it's never paid back because it's not clear. What are the gaps? Do we want to address? Do we want to give people money to start small businesses, or do we want to help young people to understand the step-by-step processes of being an entrepreneur? Do we want them to actually to assist existing businesses to grow? Once we are able to deal with that, secondly, how are we distributing the money?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a problem with the previous fund. CAPS Old Mutual put in money, and they are the ones that are putting money, they are the ones that are distributing the money. And it's not clear, there's no transparency whether 10 million was distributed or not. Okay? I think we need to have a separate board that should manage the distribution of the fund so that it speaks both to transparency and relevance. Because you can give the money, but it's not relevant to young people's needs. It was funny that, with the CAPS money, we were told that at some point that 5.4 million had been distributed. No one knows what happened to the rest. No one knows who get, all those things for me are critical. Before we even say is 12 million is enough, let's get systems first. What systems, what do we want to focus on? Which is our age group? Which a lot of young people are into ICT now. If you put a board of old people, they'll obviously not select ICT-based projects. They'll not select new industries. They'll stick to what they know. So we need all those issues addressed before we even go to the amount itself.
Mm-hmm. Pepe, what you umzilu Pepe la?
Right. I think I agree by and large with what Pepe is saying.
Mm-hmm.
The sectors had to be delineated and narrowed down, not yes, because I would take money and buy imchova and so on. So, but he is very right to say the macroeconomic environment is the make or break of any of the, even if you put 100 million, but if the macroeconomic is not right, we had the e-command, they said 40% have not yet paid back a cent of that command money. You see, and previously he was mentioning about cabs and so on. I think the numbers were even worse in terms of inability to repay. The macroeconomic environment is stifling. You keep hearing of large companies, about UBM, closing. What more a startup? And we know the startup failure rates already in a functional economy. Never mind ours where there are so many challenges. So we have to address, it comes back to Mnangagwa. He's open for business mantra. He has to translate it quickly into concrete steps and programs that people can understand and start implementing, making the business environment much easier. That way, capital will start flowing from private sector once those and the issues of e-cash crisis, and I have mentioned in the past of the currency that we are using, which makes us uncompetitive when we try to produce with
so
the US
dollar.
Which currency is this?
No, look, we have to transition out of it, and we have said in the past they must look at the options. We have bright minds who can do, and they've looked at it in the past. Maybe the suggestions were not taken up, but it's something again they have to revisit urgently.
Right, Mandona, waiting in Bambo Mlomo, Vanzo, we have a caller.
Yes, Anze Pana
Zozo. Yeah. Zozo. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
Magade yumkoma. Uyakhuluma isindebele mntara shona.
Ngiyakhuluma.
How Zozo putwa munjani put?
Ngiyathaba mntaka mama.
So uyizwile indaba esekudwini lamhlanje
ngizwile imnandi sibili mntaka mama.
Hayi siyabonga kakhulu bhuti, so awusitsheleke ukuthi yini umbono wakho?
Ya lapho umbono wami ukuthi khona vele okungenzakala mntaka mama ukuthi khona umongameli omutsha avula imisebenzi ontanga besebenzi. Hayi ukuthi ontanga batshone bendeyandi yabedemic besenzana.
Ubona ngani umongameli ulamandla uyakhona ukwenza lokho na?
Ya ukuthi khona kungabanjwana kusetshenzwe kuhle elizweni ungakhethwa ngemihlobo. Abantu bebopha amabhruke bethi bengayivusa i-economy. Kodwa kungaba lokungabambani akunanto ekenzakala sibi.
Manje uthini uyazi kulabontanga abanengi, like I said lapho bengixoxa lomunye umhlonitsho okhona ukudaba lolu ngisithi kulabantu abanengi abasakhulayo ababona ngani abafuna ukusebenza ndawonye lo Mnangagwa ngenxa yokuthi basekela ubuchamisa bathi asifuna we don't even recognize Mnangagwa as the president. Manje njengelizwe, how do we move forward, especially when we're speaking about abantu abasakhulayo?
Ya khona kunxa uthi umuntu usekhethiwe mntaka mama. Asingicaba amanga singachange wafihla umphini ngoba uNkulunkulu uzasishisa. Kuyamele khona yena lo okhona sisebenzela esimncediseni ngoba singamncedisa siyabe siyathi ilizwe lethu kasakheli ilizwe lethu iZimbabwe phela ngeke sicela namanga sibili. Kumele sisebenze egadala ukuze izwe liphumelele. Singaphumelela nabakusasa bazathola lilihle kodwa singeke thisa thina awuthathe siyayenza singazikhohlisini sibili. Ngiyacela sibili abantu beZimbabwe.
Hayi so siyabonga kakhulu bhuti, bekuhle uba la ukuhlelo baba.
Lami ngibongile.
Ima kancane ungayindawo uma nduna ufuna ukukhuluma la.
So I hope uchamisa ulalela ukuthi uthini ngathesi.
Nxa elalele nyathaba sibili kumele khona avula indlebe zakhe sibili zithi khwatsha. Azi ukuthi khona nxa ukhona umongameli uMnangagwa wasekhethiwe kumele sibenze ndaye kuhle sibambaneni ilizwe lithuthuke ngoba ilizwe leli ngelethu asoli kabani ngelethu amaZimbabwe singaziqilini sibili.
Hayi
thuthuke sibili economy ivuke sibili.
Yebo, hayi sikuzwile so siyabonga kakhulu bhuti.
Yebo ngizangifonela futhi.
Hayi of course uhlelo is your program.
Alright, nami radio ngiyabantu.
Hayi siyabonga baba. So vanzo wamunzwe lezo.
Hayi angamzwanga mina.
So zozwaba ari kuthi. Uthini manje?
I think everyone asata pora. Akarwadziwa.
Achiri kurwadziwa.
No. You're missing the point. My Ndebele is not very good, so I cannot follow.
Dopa.
I cannot follow what he was saying. What was he talking about?
Let me mina ndikunyatso kuzera mwana wa mai.
Yes.
Apa zozwanga achithi. First point is nyika ndedu sezvara zveZimbabwe.
Okay.
Saka nyaya yokuthi umwe ari kusupporta Chamisa, umwe ari kusupporta Mnangagwa, umwe ari kuti handisida kusevenza ndawonye, handisida kusevenza in the same area na Mnangagwa nokuti ndiri kusupporta Chamisa. And pasi nayo nyaya iyoyo.
All right.
Tofanira kuendera mberi senyika. We're supposed to work together.
Okay.
And then he also says kuti aiwa he feels kuti Mnangagwa should deliver. He feels kuti especially when vechidiki we need an opportunity to grow. Do you get it? You look confused.
Yes, an opportunity to grow and mature and become leaders of tomorrow.
Of course.
And not lead now and today.
No. Today and tomorrow. Vechidiki andiri mugara mchitingoa ndedu. But essentially, that's what Uzozo was saying. Uguti,
okay.
He feels as though, especially when he hammered on this, but yes, I want Chamisa to listen to me right now.
What was the point that was being emphasized on Chamisa?
He wants the country to move forward.
Oh, okay.
He's saying that this back and forth movement, no, okay. So let me just quickly go to ikhasi lethu leVO Ndebele. Ngibona ngani kulabantu abaningi lamhlanje. uDube Bongani uthi hello. uDube Bongani unjani mama? uSipho Lunga uthi hello. uDube Bongani uphindo waze wafaka inombolo sekudinga singathola ithuba mama. uMancube uthi hello Mancube unjani? And then ngibona ngani kulobhuti wami Thawuhove unjani bhuti? Hello, siyakwamukela kuhlelo. Umusa ufaka amehlo, just looking, just watching. Siyakwamukela kuhlelo lawe. Ukhethiwe khanye ngani ufuna ungena kuhlelo waze wafaka inombolo and then uhingambwa waze wafaka inhliziyo lathi siyakuthanda mama. And then uRuben Dlovu, he looks like he was hammering at the issue like I brought about $12 million lena. Uthi we don't know what to do nge 12 million ngoba incane kakhulu.
I agree.
Uyavuma?
Yep.
And then uRejoice Ndlovu waze wathi hello siyakwamukela kuhlelo Rejoice. Evans angazi ukuthi ngubani okhona kukhasi lethu television.
This is Shona regatione kuti kunani kuno kunasi kuna Mishek Chikumba angonzi zvirisei ndiri kuno kuJobek Zakaria Mbayiwa anzi tasvikawo tiri kuno kuPolokwane kuSouth Africa. Hilary Hidza Chindowa maswera sei hi from Pretoria. Vanhu vakawanda vari kuSouth Africa Mike panapa. James Pfungwa hanzi ndiri kuVindhoek kuNamibia. Father William Gure is watching.
Manduna kulo muntu okhanya ngani he's in the same lane with you. Uthi if you can't beat them or change them, join them. Fair. Waze wafaka lama caps into caps lock.
Yeah. Kaoma.
Wow. Kodwa kulo munyu Edward uthi deep fair namo fair zvinhu zvodhura open for business is now turning into closing business.
Hey.
Look, it's early days. I understand ED has had 7 months of what much could you do in that 7 months? Now it's his mandate. The economy had a lot of hangover from the past. The board note is not your ED's creation. He inherited it. He inherited a lot of things. I know you may say from Gavi.
I'm glad you could make a narrow destination and you know exactly what to direct it.
So I love how you try to give a distinction between Mugabe and Mnangagwa.
No.
Because at the end of the day, it's the same bus. They're just
different
changing drivers.
Same
engine, same tires, same scope.
Yes, but
yeah.
But you must recall, this is a splitting of hairs. The electorate has accepted that distinction, and they've given Mnangagwa a mandate. So we have to go with that.
Okay.
Right, bafethu masithatha umlaleli ngizuthile okhethiwe ecingweni. Khethiwe njani mama? Hello, Khethiwe ukhona?
Ngikhona.
Unjani mama?
Ngiyaphila njani?
Hayi siyaphila, siyakwamukela kuhlelo.
Hayi nami ngibongile kakhulu ngingena ehlelweni.
Uyizwile indaba esegudwini?
Hayi indaba esegudwini sayizwa thina njengamayuthi eyisikhathazekile kakhulu. Indaba kababa Mnangagwa lapha isitho sethu sivotile sibili ngobuningi. Sahamba sayovota sithi ukuthi alibana ngawo bekungena upresident olayo osesemutsha njengathi owazi udubolo ongasebenzi. Kodwa ngenxa yokuthi vele izanu izasiyizana. Sekube uthi ngabe phela asithola umsebenzi ngoba nxa ungakhumbula ureview back to 2008 when kube the inclusive government uMorgan Tsvangirai walethi inguquko eningi kakhulu. So khathesi nxa sikhangela bengayala belokho behwaba futhi ngezifunda lezo bengafuna ukuthi basifakele ubabuthamisa. Kuzasicakala ukuthi sizangena kuleyana isituation esasibhekane layo futhi ukuthi lesinkwa uyagcina lisidla kanye ngekhisi umuntu nxa ukuthi lisibhalisile. And okubuhlungu ukuthi thina singapha emaphandleni elokhuzeni ePlabush. Okubuhlungu ukuthi ePlabush yakhona akula mali 1 2 akula even umsebenzi yakhona kufakana vele ngelokhuzeni ngokwazana ukuthi uyazana kanjani uzafunda ufunde sibili kodwa at the end uzathola ukuthi umuntu ongela i-37 certificate olilunga lezana ngoyohamba futhi esiyosebenza emsebenzini nathi ngomsebenzi. So into esikhalela ngokuthi manje lezihlobo zethu obaba bagula lapha amaphilisi kumele azayithenge esithanga eBotswana kumbe eSouth Africa. Like for instance lapha eTrabusi lapha esikhona thina sisendaweni okuthiwa kuseMahore underslabusi amaphilisi ayashota amaphilisi aye-TB ayashota kumele uzoya ugade udinga $10 to and from lawa uthethatha amaphilisi aye-TB okuyinto ezisa ubuhlungu kakhulu. Othi nxa sikhangele kusho ukuthi phela ubaba uMnangagwa wayesofikisa ngoDisemba umkhuhlane kusho ukuthi lamaphilisi umkhuhlane edisabese siwathathe elokuzeni bese siwathenga njengakuqala okuyinto esizisa ubuhlungu ukuthi into yamahara into esponsayo sokumele ukuthi siyihambele umango ngenxa ukuthi bona abafuni ukuthi kumbe bazwisise labo babone ukuthi umumo uhamba njani. Ipenseni iyathathwa ezikolo lapha namhlanje abantwana bahambile baxotshiwe baphendukisiwe asazi nxa bephendukiswa babesithi sibabhadale ngani ngoba thina vele asisebenzi phela akula imali zakhona lathi ukuthi siye emakholeji lokupasile uform 4 uform 6 uzahambe ekholeji uhamba ngani ngoba vele abadala bazivele bengelayo imali yakhona yini.
Hayi mama sikuzile kahle.
Into esiyicelayo kubaba uMnangagwa ngokuthi yena phela ubutsha bakhe wabuqedela empini nanti yena ligamba ubutsha bakhe wabuqedela empini so by the time ukuthi kwakungena sikhathi sokuthi kunjani usetshele so yena ukuphasela komsebenzi maybe akwazi so sicela ukuthi yena asizele izwi ukuthi thina ama-bond free basinikeze umsebenzi lathi sikwanisa ukusebenzela impucuko yelizwe lethu ngoba ilizwe salithanda khathesi mina ngibuye eGoli eSouth Africa. ESouth Africa kunzima ukuqamba amanga ngilala lisesuka up and down kube kuthe hey lokhu this and that ama-South Africans ngizosenzani and then nxa ukhangela futhi you come back to Zimbabwe nxa usukile eZimbabwe sokuba nzima futhi compared to west.
Hayi mama sikuzile kahle siyabonga kakhulu bekuhle kuba la ukuhlela.
Hayi nami ngibonga.
Thank you. So Evans lapha umzulu mama ukhethiwe basically she's talking about what she's faced. She towards the end of the conversation she talks about how she's recently came from South Africa and she feels kuti it's very difficult the challenges that she faced in South Africa. It's very heartbreaking for her to go back to Zimbabwe. Achithemba ukuthi Iowa maybe njana umkhana ukuthi ndisimudze semunhu wechidiki vanzivala vula vanzikwete hapana chakaitika. She's also basically what she narrows down to is she's asking ED to provide imisebenzi jobs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I would rather throw this ball at you and look at a situation where let's look at this from a feasibility perspective.
Yes.
Creating jobs today in Zimbabwe using the bond notes, using a borrowed foreign currency, using limited resources where people are going to the banks today and they can only withdraw $300 in coins for the day, if at all they manage to get that much. How feasible is it to turn this economy around and create jobs? Zimbabwe right now is at over 90% unemployment. How?
It's challenging, which is why I think as Ubaba Utemba, I was agreeing with him. Even if a youth came to you with a business plan under this environment, 9 times out of 10, I think a bank would laugh him out of the building. They have to look at certain drivers that will kickstart the employment creation, whether it's infrastructure projects. These are things for which the government can access funds, whether it's from China or wherever, and start to kickstart jobs. And sectors like agriculture, where we already have our land reform. We are talking, for example, this issue that there are multiple farm owners. As you weed them out, give those farms to the youth. People say Mugabe is 14 farms, 15 farms. Give the 13 farms to the youth, to our agriculture graduates. These are the initial gestures that will even change the narrative on Mnangagwa. Things like cutting grandiose. Be a government that says we are not going to buy new cars. We want to prioritize the hospitals. Gestures like that start to change a narrative in the way that people like Magufuli have done in their countries. I don't want to be a waste of expenditure. You see, so he must also, on his part, and the people around him, I don't know how successful they'll be, but
it's a good start.
Mike, I'm imagining President Emerson Mnangagwa riding a bicycle to work.
It's lalele manje.
Hey,
kodwa ngiyezwa ukuthi thina
Interesting.
umtheleli ari parunare so ngcono sithatha umlale
ndi Mofu.
then kana tatora Mofu tuenda kune ma videos edu
alright.
akathi
Mofu makadiko
Yo, mazilore.
mushe kwakadiko
Kuno kumzalabani kwakama baba.
muri kupi
Ndiri kumzalabani.
ehe kumzarabani ndau iri mudariro mainzwa kai mafungiro enyu oti kudii
Zvinhu zviri kuoma baba kuZimbabwe.
zvoitwa sei
Tinofungidzira kuti kuenda vakaita kuChina ikokoko kuti vanonyora madhues avo let's hope kuti vanoita bring something kunyika. Asi ndakatarisa nenhau yemayuti yamuri kutaura nezvayo. In Zimbabwe zvazviri kungotaura mazuva anaya ndezvekuti mayuti asati amboinjoya chinonzi freedom. From 1980 tikutarisa isi mayuti vanhu vese vane makore ese waya kusvika iko zvinezvi vanhu ivavo they have never enjoyed freedom. Nanhasi tikutarisa kuti hapana chinhu chatinotarisira kwavari kuti vangabudisa munyika takatarisana nemamiriro akaita nyika iye zvinezvi.
zvino naye mukoma wangu zvoitwa sei kuti
right izvozvo zvatikuedza kuda kutaura nezvekuti maelections akaitwa akapera vamunangagwa vakanzi pfe
tapanza
kuti ive varipo zvinezvi havana chamisa vainge vachimiriro ndisi alliance hatingati isusu vangamanikidzirwa kunzi vapinde muhurumende iye yavari kutokana nayo ivo vacho varipo vana munangagwa yavo ngavamirimiri vaone zvekuita voita re-engage yacho yavari kutaura nokuengeja vacho kwavari kutaura ikokoko so that nyika inofambirira kuenda mberi. Haungamanikidziri mukadzi kuti apinde mushaka uyo wakamuramba.
mukoma inini pandiri kuita dambudziko nevanhu vese vari kuedza kubatsiridza nyaya iyi pamwe chete pekuti munhu wese ari kuti vamunangagwa vanofanirwa kuona kuti voita sei kuti zvinhu zvinake. Ko imiwo vanhu vacho muri kuitei kuti muedze kuona kuti zvinhu zvanaka munyika?
Right. Isusu semayutika takavhota tavhota semayuti ndosaka ndiri kuedza kutaura kuti we've never experienced chinhu chinonzi freedom muZimbabwe since 1980 nokuti kubva 1980 wacho taingova tiri vanhu vanongombunyikizwa. Isusu semayuti kwatiri kunourasi sorry kutaura izvo vakomana. We are prepared for anything.
Mukoma Mofu munochichidzira nyika musadaro.
Kamari ndo zvinenge zvaitongovapo nokuti nhamo yacho zvinezvi yatonyanyisa.
Vanhu vanogona kuzomuka vofunga kuti mavati uyai tiende kuhondo mukoma.
Ndokufurirwa nabiti.
Hatikurudzire izvozvo. Aiwa vamoshi Mofu aiwa tinotenda zvikuru nekuva nemi pachirongo handiti mukoma.
Zvakanaka.
Right. So vafetsu
totenda nebasa ramuri kuita ikoko.
aiwa totenda imugwira vaMofu. Right, so bafethu silama video lapha esimele sitshengisa abantu. Lapha we've been talking about uplifting abantu abasakhulayo the whole time. eZimbabwe kulenhlelo ezinenge ezijiyeneyo that are all set up ukuthi sithuthukise or improve each other njengabantu abasakhulayo.
All right.
So I'm going to show one of them. This one is called the Boost Fellowship. It's one of the programs set up in Zimbabwe. Yona elenjongo, of course, ekuthuthukisa abantanga. So let's just go to the quick video of the Boost Fellowship. Lapho was the founder explaining more about the Boost Fellowship, and then we'll come back. We'll continue with this conversation, linga indawo bafethu.
This fellowship is a youth-based organization. We work in youth empowerment here in Zimbabwe. BOOST itself is an acronym for Building Opportunity on Student Talent. Started and formed in the year 2000, and is intended to empower youth in Zimbabwe through providing them opportunities for their future. So basically, we look at ourselves as a bridge between the opportunities that young people seek for and the opportunities that are out there. So as BOOST, we are here in the middle to connect young people, whether it's entrepreneurial skills, business skills, or employment opportunities. We act as a conduit or a connector of young people through training them in different disciplines, through linking them with different opportunities, mentorship, as well as access to networks, funding, and other opportunities.
Here I coordinate the Delta Boost Social Responsibility Program, as well as the Green Jobs Program that is run by the Boost Fellowship with the support of UNICEF Zimbabwe.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about them?
Okay. With the Delta Boost Social Responsibility Program, we are into profitable waste management models in Zimbabwe. So we are working with 10 universities, and we have created 5 power teams. With these teams, they go out into communities and implement profitable waste management models. You understand that we are a country that experiences a lot of challenges in relation to dealing with waste. So we are trying to work with youth and making them see that you can actually earn a livelihood from waste. So we have 5 power teams that are running entrepreneurial initiatives in Zimbabwe. For instance, we have one that is into making crafts from cans. So they are earning from what we normally see as waste. And they've also developed a mobile application that is into waste collection. So once you have waste in your community, you can simply contact them via the mobile application. They come and collect, and at zero cost, they make goods that they can sell.
So I'm a student and I'm on internship for BOOST Inactus or BOOST Fellowship. So I'm from Bindura University and I'm going for 4-1 next semester. I'm doing banking and finance.
What is it that motivated you to come and maybe decide to do your internship here?
Well, with BOOST Inactus now, you get to meet a lot of important people, especially here in Zimbabwe. So I would like to get into politics someday. So I thought maybe if I go to BOOST, do my internship there, I would have an opportunity to meet, a lot of important people. And then maybe someday they might remember me and I might get into politics.
Right, Bafethu, you heard Leo is one of the programs set up in Zimbabwe. It was founded by Ubusi Marandure. Shout out to Ubusi. And also shout out to Paul Ndio, who's one of our VOA correspondents. He was in Zimbabwe recently. So Bafethu, if you just joined in, you are tuned in to The Connection. We have about 15 minutes left in the program. Lamhlanje kuhlelo, we're speaking about the one and only President Emmerson Mnangagwa. Sifuna ukuthi nina njengabantu abasakhulayo, what are your expectations of him? 1, 2. Uyamsekela na umongameli Emmerson Mnangagwa? If not, why? If you believe, do you believe ukuthi he's capable of uplifting your life njengomuntu ongusakhulayo? If you're looking to join the program, Evans, what's the number? Boo, on the spot. Wanyara. Anyway, 001-619-2077. That's the number to call, Bafethu. Ngenani kuhlelo ngobunengi benu. In studio, we have Calvin Manduna, PhD student at Howard University. And of course, he is a fairist. Can we call you a fairist?
Well, yes, you can.
I'm joking. So, Bafethu, it sounds like we have another caller on the line. Evans ngatithore mtereri. Caller ecingweni unjani?
Hello.
Hello.
Makadi baba, munotaura here kana kuti munokhuluma?
Ndinotaura. I can speak also.
Yes,
okay.
Papa. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, guys. Mm-hmm. Firstly, I would like to greet you, all of you there, and I would like also to greet all the Zimbabweans all over the whole world. And back home in Zimbabwe, greeting to you, all of you.
Thank you.
You are speaking to Miss Mananda here in South Africa, Johannesburg. You see, my encouragement to the government towards the youth is that I would want to urge the government to source the money to promote the entrepreneurship and all the projects for them to access employment to other projects that we might have. But however, the president alone cannot do it without our support. In as much as we know that one finger doesn't make a sound, we need to be together to support him. Elections have come and they have gone. And we need to support our president and to have a positive mind. And once we have the positive mind, Zimbabwe will change sooner or later. It will move on with a high prosperity that we are going to come to a developed country that we know. But if we kept on fighting like the way how it is currently, with others are pulling the other side is pulling on the other side not to accept the election. Comrade Mnangagwa was elected, and they need our support. There is no change to it. So I encourage the government that they need to sort the money, and once the money is there, let the government also promote the entrepreneurship and the project that is to make the youth to have an access to get jobs wherever they are. And that's the only way how we can help our youth. Otherwise, if we cannot do that, we still have got a lot of problems. And that is my only observation, and that is what I think should be done by all of us as Zimbabweans, both home and in diaspora. Let's work together. Let us have a positive mind to uplift our youth. And our youth are the future. Thank you very much.
Aiwa vamanhanda tinotenda zvikuru nekuva nepachirongwa
tavanzwa vamanhanda. Vamanhanda vari kuti hurumende dai yatsvaga mari
dollar billion
ndochinhu chekutanga chandabata. Chechipiri, anzi president mutungamiriri wenyika havangagoni kushanda vega vakabudirira, ngativatsigirei. Vataurawo nyaya yemaprojects yavari kubata-bata iyi, vakurumbidza vaenda mubvunzo wandanga ndichavabvunza ndewekuti hurumende iyi yavari kuti itsvage mari inoitsvaga kupi? Nekuti kwese kuzhinji kunositsvagwa mari nehurumende uku kune zvikweretu zvisati zvabhadharwa. Iyo hurumende yacho haitorina mari yekuti ivo
vabhadhare zvikweretu.
Vachawana kupi imwe yavari kuti dai hurumende yatsvaga mari yauya? Hameno pamwe ndimi munonzwisisa nyaya dzematongerwo enyika idzi kuti dzinofamba
singayi kumanduna sisa ulibhati
yes please
ungamkhosi phela. Ibhebhe usasekhona ecingweni? Bhebhe
ngisesekhona.
Right. So umzwile umlaleli wethu Mananda lapho njalo silo umhlonitsho omunye who's in studio uKelvin Manduna. uMananda uyasho ukuthi first things first, umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. You can't grow unless you grow within a community. So uyasho ukuthi umongameli uMnangagwa needs support from abantu, especially all Zimbabweans, diaspora, local, international, wherever you are. And Zulu Evans now bringing in Indaba Air debt. Now, bearing that in mind, Indaba Lena Air debt, how feasible is it ukuthi uhulumende law will be able to generate anything or any programs ezikhangela ukuthuthukisa abontanga that will be successful? Because generating it and creating it is one thing, but ensuring ukuthi it's successful is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, I think for me it's a whole lot of things. I think if you're listening to viewers, basically what listeners, what they're asking for is a government that is reflective of themselves in Zimbabwe. So we need a government that is fully reflective of the make-up of Zimbabwe, both in tribal and in terms of age, in terms of gender, in terms of race representation. I think from what I'm listening, people are saying we want to see ourselves. in that government.
Of course, as usual.
So that's a very fundamental strategic starting point. So let's have this government restoring confidence in Zimbabweans by being reflective of the makeup of Zimbabwe. That's number one. Number two, I think for me, they need to move towards showing a fundamental difference from the old. You know, we need to own up to our debts. We need to start paying our debts. We owe the IMF. That's why we can't borrow from the IMF. We need to show strategic reforms that are moving us in the path towards economic recovery. We need to we owe even China. We owe everyone in this world. I mean, we owe EPC countries. You know. So, but we need to start moving towards restoring confidence in all our borrowers. Thirdly, for me, it's about, again, going back to the point of making sure that we build a better macroeconomic framework. You know, investors will look at whether local investors, whether Zimbabweans are investing in Zimbabwe. If Zimbabweans themselves start investing in Zimbabwe, the whole world will invest in Zimbabwe. But if Zimbabweans don't invest in Zimbabwe, the world will not invest in Zimbabwe. What do I mean? Let's make it possible for Zimbabweans in the diaspora to actually invest in Zimbabwe. Let's make our operational framework. I was talking to a few friends of mine that are working in the energy sector. You know, it's so closed. And these are Zimbabweans trying to come back into Zimbabwe. ZERA is the regulatory authority owned by ZESA. ZETDC, which is the distributing, is owned by ZESA. Zimbabwe Power Company, which is the generator, is owned by ZESA. How do we allow people to begin to be independent energy producers, to begin to supply into our grid, which is in so much need of so let's make the framework, the environment conducive for people to work. Zimbabweans to invest in Zimbabwe. Then the whole world will invest in Zimbabwe. I mean, lastly, for me, it's an issue. I hear a lot of people saying, let's support youth entrepreneurship projects. As long as we understand that we need to deal with macroeconomic fundamentals first. Because there's this tendency to throw money at the problem of young people. You are making it worse. You're getting them frustrated. A lot of young people, I listen to the Boost Fellowship thing. A lot of those young people are equipped. They know what they need to do. They know what they must do. But the environment is not conducive, not allowing them to do what they must do. So it's going to be problematic if we don't deal with this. I mean, the very last, let's deal with the liquidity. I hear somebody saying bond notes are bad. I think that's a conversation Zimbabweans agree with. Bond notes are not the best way forward. But let's have a broader conversation. Government must talk to its citizens and have a broad conversation of how to deal with the currency issue. It should not be restricted to a few people. The few people who have done that decisions in the past brought us bond notes. Let's have a broader conversation. How do we deal with our liquidity crisis? How do we deal with our debt crisis? So that Zimbabweans, together with the government, can work towards a better future. I think we now need a fundamental shift. In the past, government was talking at us. We need government to talk with us and have a conversation with its own citizens. Citizens will help change the image of this country. But as long as citizens are not confident, they don't feel included, involved, starting from government, they will not help change the image of this country.
Yes, Pepe, that was a mouthful. Mandun, what do you say about that?
I agree with Mr. Pepe. For me, right now, the ball is in the government's court. I understand, and I appreciate all those who are saying, as citizens, we have to do our part. This is fair and fine. But the government policies are what will create, even for us here as diaspora, for me to put money at home, whether to buy a house or to start something, the comfort comes from the government creating that space. So the ball is in their court. but they must move faster than what we are seeing right now. This is we need to see some urgency, as Bebe is saying. People want to see this dialogue quickly taking place and translating into action, especially on the macroeconomic issues. Yeah.
So abantu kukhathi lethu eleviyo endebele uthendai ulomlayizelo for wena. Uthi slogan inonakidza deep fair. Let's give it 3 months, then we'll talk about it.
No, we have 5 years.
Yes, please.
I got you one.
We are here for 5 years, another 5. And then uthandiwe mavundla uthi ngeke bavula amabhizimusi abantu ngoba imali yabo izathathwa ngama-banks.
Look, South Africa has entered a recession right now. 30% unemployment. And I keep saying this is an economy who beat us on every metric of infrastructure, access to finance, skills. They have all of that. But this is the monster of unemployment that they are facing. So it's not easy. Government has to really address this thing head on. We can't have the same characters who brought us summer born Nortons. This I think there's a consensus across the board in Zimbabwe that we need a team that is capable.
If you were going to build the new cabinet,
who would be in it?
I maybe not prudent to name names. I would say, what would I want to see
exactly? Okay,
out of them? I think number one, I don't want individuals who are tainted by corruption. Probity is key for us. Those who record of corruption in the past, I think those should be out. Number two, I would like to see people who have a track record of delivery. For me, I go by CV. If you delivered in the past, I have confidence. But if you come because you were a good dancer during the primaries and a haula and a noise maker, and that is why we are putting you, because loyalty, that was Mugabe's criteria, loyalty, that won't work for us. The key ministries, as we know, are finance and the bank there and industry and so on. I would love to see someone with a private sector background coming in there in those structures. I think that will really give a fillip to our private sector and to our external partners that there's some seriousness.
Right, Bafethu, we have one more caller. We have 3 minutes. Caller mlaleli. We're giving you 30 seconds. Usumgenile kuhlelo mapinda mchirongwa tinogamchirai.
Hello.
Hey, how are you, Chief?
25 seconds.
Ndiripo makaita makadizvo ikoko.
Aiwa tiripo wakuru takutokupai 25 seconds nekuti chirongwa chakusvika kumagumo saka matopinda muchirongwa tudze maondero enyu nenyaya iripo nhasi.
Maonero angu ngekuti government dei achinje maitiro was mainterpreneurs amuri kutaurwa nezvaona na Mr. Bego anogona kuuya but chero kabata mari mumaoko ukangoita 2 days naye uri kumusha kweZimbabwe yake yanzozveraenda kumabhondi watodzwa business rakuna kwarichaenda.
Aiwa nguva ndiya
watachinje maitiro mapolicies awo zvakafanana neinflation inoramba ichiroka dzara kutonzwa kuti zvezvo zvakutoshaikwa mumasherefu wozi mangwana chaiyo ukaona chingwa chicha 2 cents nhasi saka mangwana chinenge chakaita 3 cents saka munhu anenge achiita business zvisireti haasi akaona chakawana because zvinhu zvinongotutwa zvesa musiritu takutodzoka zvekublack market saka black market iya inobva yauraya kuti mainterpreneurs aya saka hazipasiri vapangisa mapolicies ekuti zvinhu zvese zvobva kana chiri chingwa chinzi 10 cents i10 cents mashopu ese zvikati kumwe chiri 30 rand uko chiri kuita 15 rand ma-entrepreneurs acho anenge auya hana chanobura.
Aiwa mukoma Patrick mukoma nguva ndiyo yadyanana tinotenda zvikuru nekuva nemi pachirongo. So let's wrap the program up. I'm giving you 20 seconds. Umzwilu Patrick esithi government ngaichinje maitiro.
Angazutu Patrick, he wants to relitigate the election. But on a serious note, I think let's give him time. I know people are very frustrated. We are all frustrated. We want things to happen immediately. Let's see what they are going to do in the second 100 days, euphemistically speaking, if they will inspire confidence in us. If they are not 2023, then they will go.
Right, Bafethu, sesifike emaphethelweni kohlelo. Hey, it was a very energetic program. Thank you so much to wonke umuntu ongenileyo kuhlelo lumbonile. Besilo Kelvin Manduna ehlelweni, besilo Liberty uBhebhe ecingweni, njalo besilo abalaleli abaningi abangenileyo kuhlelo Bafethu oluvalisayo ngenjabulo. libe levikeli mnandi olivalisayo nguMike Hobe, Mthwakazi omuhle, Zimbabwe omuhle. Have a good night.